Hello. Didn't think I would be making a video tutorial on this thing, but it's fine. So, we're gonna go to your respective um mod launcher. In this case, I use AT launcher. It doesn't really matter which one you use. Um, all you need to know is how to get into the folder. As long as you know how to get into the folder, it's perfectly fine. With AT Launcher, it's right there, open folder. So yeah, if you know how to get into the folders of your instance, then all is good. So you're going to go open your folder. So you open it up. But in this case, with AT Launcher, it just opens it up straight to the instance of it. So in this case, it goes to instances. In this case, I named it test. So this is called test. Now, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to your config file. And then in here, inside of your config file, inside of your instance, you're going to want to create a folder. By creating this folder, you're then going to want to name it Voidblock Extras. Make sure to name it like this. If it is not named like this, voidblock_extras, it will not work and the file will not be able to be read by Minecraft or the mod itself. Now, you're going to want to go open up this file. You're going to want to create another file inside of this. In this case, once you create the folder, you're then want to create another file in here. In this case, you are going to want to create this file. This is a JSON file. You're going to want to make the file called excluded_items. The file must be a JSON file. Must be a JSON file. If it is not a JSON file, it will not work. Please make it a JSON file. If it says text document, it will not work. If you just do new plus text document excluded items.json, it will not work. If it says under type text document, that is not correct. It will not work like that. Okay? It needs to be a JSON file. I would suggest using a different program to create a JSON file. In this case, I use Visual Studio Code, VSC. It is a good coding program for beginners or people who are not don't really need some top of the line program. I don't use Eclipse or IDE. I use MC Creator, which is an easy to use modding platform. It does all of the stuff for you. Many people don't like it. I like it because it's just easy to use. And if something goes wrong, I know what to do because I can still read Java. And I just don't want to do all the complicated stuff because I'm lazy. If I really wanted to, I probably could just make my own mod without mcreator. I just choose not to. Anyways, besides the point. Make sure you create a JSON file and name it excluded_items. It must be this name. I swear. Needs to be this name. Otherwise, it will not be able to be read properly. Now, when you open up this file, there's a specific format it has to be in. The format has to be like this. Just open brackets, like that. Open brackets. And then you just want to name the item, the registry name of the item. If you in-game just do F3 and H, you can see the registry names underneath the display name of the item. So in this case, the registry name of a creative controller from Refined Storage is Refined Storage : creative_controller. That is the registry name. And then to add more, you just add a comma at the end of it, and you just add another one. Make sure to have quotation marks on the end. You put the registry in the middle of the quotation marks. If you don't, the JSON file will not work. It's not a JSON file if you don't have this. Okay? The JSON file needs to be formatted like this. needs to be. Otherwise, it will not be able to be read properly. If it is JSON file is formatted any other way, it will not be able to be read properly. Okay? So, we can exit out of that. So yes, instances, your instance that you want to use, config, you get the file folder called Voidblock Extras if it's not there already, because it probably won't be there because it doesn't create it automatically. You have to create it yourself. You have to create the folder yourself. It won't just be there. So you create the folder called Voidblock Extras. Inside of that folder needs to be the excluded underscore items JSON file. The JSON file needs to be formatted like this. If it is not, it will not work. Now, we can go over to here. We can click on play. Anyways, we're going to go to the Voidblock Utils Creative tab. We're going to want to grab the infinitely regenerating block, which is the block that the excluded items is for. When you break the block, you'll see right here in this little tiny area right here, item not found. All of these items are not found because they are not in the game. Now some of them, if you remember what was inside that JSON list, some of them were command blocks and some other items, and as you can see, those are not said here because those are truly excluded from the block. Of course, now these items aren't excluded because some of these items are modded items from other mods. What it will do is just skip the items that are not there. And technically, there are the end gateway portals, end portals, nether portals, and regular portals that you can't normally get them, and so they're just there on the blacklist just in case the block does drop them. Is that you just can't get it normally. So yeah, if you don't see this inside of your console, you did something wrong. Because if it says anything other than this, it is not working at all. If it says anything else, that means either you did not set up the file path correctly, or you did not install the correct version of the mod. Because later versions, or later versions, any version below 1.06 will not have this feature. Only 1.06 and higher will have this, because any version below that did not have a properly working blacklist item thing. It was broken in any version below 1.06. So if you do not have the correct mod version, make sure you have 1.06 of the mod. And make sure the file path is correct. Check all of your names. Check all the paths, the names, and everything. Make sure the file is a JSON file. If it's not that, then I don't know what to tell you. You did something wrong. Somewhere went wrong. Because if you don't see this, something went wrong. And that's pretty much it. Okay? I hope this tutorial helped. And if it didn't, well, I tried my best to explain it as best as I can. It is not that hard to do. It does not require an extensive knowledge of Java and whatnot. It is pretty dang simple if you ask me. You're creating a folder and a file. It is pretty damn easy. And you can do this for any instance of Minecraft as long as you have the mod. If you have the mod, you can do this in any instance. So if you're playing another mod pack and you want to download this mod with it, you can do the exact same thing. It does not matter, you can do the exact same thing. The code will work. The code will automatically detect the version, the instance that you're playing on, and where the file needs to be. It will automatically say. In the console, it will also say the correct file path. If the file path is not correct, it will tell you what the file path needs to be. Other than that, I'm pretty sure that's the end. Hopefully, you got it. If you didn't, well, I tried to make this as simple as possible. I'm sorry.